It can be both sides,
in your
but
head.
We are into our pick and ban, and we'll have to see exactly what's going to change up. Absolutely nothing for the first two, but again, I really want to see this side taken off the board. I think she's so underrated in how much control she's given to Slater and Pallet on that bottom side.
Yeah, so Kisante banned away from Sparta once again. This time Jax taken off the board, so Kiaya won't get his own comfort, won't get that pick that can just hardcore outscale something like the Renekton. We'll see if the bans are going to continue as they have been. The Viego, again, GAM. I mean, look, if I'm GAM after that previous game,
you're happy.
I ain't changing anything.
We did it!
Let's go.
I was gonna say, look, if you're not gonna ban away the Xayah, you gotta bring out something like a Blitzcrank, something crazy for being that bot side. But I love that they're doing this, getting rid of that control for Slater, opening up Bartis Bay to actually play aggressive. Rakan is open, maybe that's first pick worthy here, we'll have to wait and see. But I do actually think as well, going towards the even a mid or a jungle, it's gonna be totally fine. Renekton as well could be the opportunity.
Kai'Sa gonna be the lock-in in there. I can't say I'm too surprised to see the Kai'Sa go in there. But like you say, Rakan still available if you want to take that one for yourself. Or you can deny the Nautilus. In fact, it's already locked in. Taking away the Kai'Sa Nautilus combo.
And priority for glory. This is exactly what I wanted to see from Team Wells coming in. Get him onto comfort, set him up well. The only thing is though, because you've now kind of shown your hand with this Syndra and this rotation, it does mean it opens up for things like the LeBlanc that we saw banned away previously from Catty to now come through. So you'll have to see if that is going to be the game plan. I personally think Palace take the Alistar here. Great setup for you. You can go well against the Nautilus as well. And you can provide that CC that's in the middle. But is this just going to be Kiaya taking that set into the top lane? Or is this in response to the bot lane?
Yeah, I think this is Pallet. I think that's a set for Pallet, to be honest. Well, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. It certainly works well to set up the Kai'Sa in terms of getting the CC, getting those passive procs.
Just go Renekton.
That pretty much confirms it, right?
I hate Renekton.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it once from Pallet before in summer, so yeah, it is going to be the, once from BA in summer, not from Pallet. My bad, I was looking at the wrong screen, but yeah, it actually is going to be a case of the bot lane taking this. Curious to see how that one works out, because I think you've got a lot of things that are going to be all right to just go, hey, how about I just, you know, put in a Scat of the Week in there, or how about I just boot you in the face and kick you back out of the equation?
Yeah, I've got to say, you know, Lee Sin not had a great tournament so far, but alongside a Syndra, like, you got a lot of power in that mid jungle right there. That is a lot of presence, and like you say, Syndra very happy with an extremely short-ranged opposing team so far. The Nocturne ban has been consistent so far this series. Oh, we will see a game for it.
Curious if we get the stage 20 ban as well, because at the moment it feels like a lot of things that run at you on GAM, but not a lot of things that stop the enemy team from running away from you on GAM's side. So I definitely think you want something like the Sejuani to actually lock them in place. That's going to be banned away. Maokai is taken away as well, so I'm kind of curious to see what the game plan is here for Levi, or whether again for Pallet it's just like, hey, well, we've already got the set in the bot lane, so it's like, well, what does Cassie then try and play in mid to start things off? It ends up very, very wonky. So I actually love the bans that we're getting through at the moment from Team Wells, just getting rid of those engage tools. Okay, Artemis bringing out the Callista.
Straight up aggro here. Across the board, like Syndra in the mid lane, Lee Sin jungle. You've now got, as you say, the Callista out from Artemis. They want to take GAM on head-to-head, and now GAM have to respond to this in kind. They need to lock in. You'd assume a support, you'd assume a mid laner and a jungler here. Wukong's still available.
Levi got to go back to his classic, bringing out the Wukong, one of the players that was still very much enamored with this champion despite the nerfs that kind of as we start to see it dip across pretty much globally in all regions. Levi was one of those players that was still willing to bring it out, and this is kind of the engage tool that we were talking about. I wasn't sure maybe if they go for the Vi or the Wukong, but this is a very potent combo with the Orianna there.
That's an extremely potent combo, and I just want to quickly mention, we talked about Catty's Jace stats. Well, the Wukong's no different for Levi. basically 91% win rate over 11 games. And 7 KDA in the jungle there, feeling strong. Rumble, a pick that we saw banned a lot at the start of players that's sort of fallen out of favour. The option. Or, you know, just set up for the big all-in.
I mean, look at the grin there on the coach's face. They're very happy to go, do you know what? Let's just go for it. We already know that we've got good setup. We can, if they have to play as GAM, they have to try and run into us. They're going to be
Set support,
they're all going to be trying to come in at the one point in time. So if they go for this big wombo combo, let's just jump back on their face. And you've got decent setup here as well. Like if you can set up for a good scout of the week from the Syndra, you can set up for Artemis in these fights, you're going to be in a good spot. But it does come back to your point you made earlier, Munchables. If you don't get rolling on this bot side, you don't have the damage in team fights to have that consistent DPS, Team Wales are going to struggle.
I feel like Glory is going to be a focus point here for Team Wales. He's been reasonably quiet this series compared to what we've seen so far in play-ins. And he's going to have a lot of damage. He's going to have to be a lot of set with that Scat of the Week as well. We need to see a great game from Glory.
And specifically working with mid jungle. I want to see this mid jungle pop off. Scatter the weak into the Sonic Wave, kill this Orianna over and over until the life is absolutely miserable, and then you can join that into the bot lane as well and make them miserable. The goal here of Team Wales is to have GAM crying their eyes out by the time they finish in this game. If not, they don't have a hope of moving on to that main stage, and it will be GAM Esports who are cheering once again as Team Wales have left themselves with tears in their eyes.
At this point, Dagda, well, first off, I don't condone bullying, so I'm basically cheering for GAM now after. I really hope they're not just trying to make GAM cry. But realistically, I just want 5 games now. Like, this series has been so fun to watch so far. We've got a VCS Finals rematch, and GAM looking to repeat their scoreline. They got a 3-1 win domestically. Let's see if they can repeat it here in the qualifications for Team Wales. Not going down without a fight. They lock a full aggro composition. They are bringing it to GAM in the 4th game.
You can see everyone spreading out across the ways, wanting to make sure that nobody gets any sort of vision down, because every single game we've seen these kind of late invades to get vision and make sure that you're in an okay spot. We've even seen split maps coming in from game 2, but now coming into game 4 when the chips are down, looks like everyone's just going to take it nice and easy. A bit of damage across the lead.
The chips are down, pick them up, and eat them. Delicious. It's not very good feeling. We'll say chips.
I'm pretty sure it's a
isang bronze visit.
I was talking about like chips, as in like fries too.
Ah, okay.
You are right. It is a poker turn. I prefer to think of real chips. Team Wales moving in once again. We've seen this sort of invade. Did they get spotted? I don't think they did. It's hard to say. Honestly, I think they did. BJ trying to get out. Will flash over the wall. Pierre might have to do the same thing. Artemis getting some stacks going. Not afraid. The red buff will reset. I don't think that's quite enough for that to be a positive play. We do have a pause coming through.
Was coming through, but I'm kind of surprised to see how aggressive that they went in that one. I mean, they didn't know that they were going to get spotted, but still, you're kind of late in the invade. That's going to be perfect in those close quarter combats where you're able to set up beautifully with the E, the pullback to get the multi-man stun. So I thought they just kind of back away at that stage. And then you've got a Lee Sin who's incredibly low, trying to start off his own jungle camps, and also having no flash. If I'm Levi, I'm probably trying to invade on top side to use some of that pressure to see if I can get this Lee Sin out of the game.
So it makes sense. Hopefully we can get any issues remedied shortly. Team Wales, again, it's like you said earlier, the pause coming on through, you're going to be getting into your own head a little bit, right? That you went for a late invade, it didn't quite work out, and now you've got to kind of sit and marinate in that. And, you know, no talking during the tech pause either, so it's not like you can get on the same page as the team.
I am a little bit worried, though, for BJ, because, again, he's kind of been the one that's gotten caught out at times, has now been set behind. I think this is where, again, if we were talking about, hey, played through a strong mid jungle, you're already kind of instigating that in favor of GAM, which is the complete opposite of what you would have wanted if you're a Team Wales fan. So I think a huge portion of this game now is going to be a case of, can Levi use some of these advantages to get control? Like, if you have Renekton who's in control of top lane, cool, let's try and bring Renekton to an invade on Red Bull off this initial clear. Like, try and get into the face of this Lee Sin, because he just doesn't have the best of sustain. Even though with the buffs, it's like if you're already starting off at a 3rd HP, you are going to struggle to get through this kill.
Yeah, you certainly are. So they can punish that one. Whether or not he has to go for an early reset as well in that jungle, if the sustain's just not good enough at all. Just clear one camp, get the level 2 reset, then maybe move straight up to your top side just to potentially negate if they do go for some kind of invade or anything.
Yeah, that's where it's like, I think you will probably see a hard push in mid if you can, although I don't think Orianna can I think Orianna level 1 and 2 can get control over mid lane, push that in, get a ward onto Raptors, at least try and spot out exactly what the game plan is for Wukong. Like, if you do see him going for this full clear, okay, grand, now we can kind of spot out and go, right, we can make some sort of play.
Yeah.
If not, then you just end up taking the fact that, oh, well, he's had to go for an early reset, so he's behind anyway, so now I just get the level 4 quicker as Wukong and then try and make it go. So there's kind of ways that you can try and play this one out. I think that's exactly what GAM are going to try and say.
Right, well, it is Team Wales that have gone for the pause, apparently. We're still trying to figure out what the issue is on stage right now. But you know what, Dagda, it wouldn't be Players if we didn't have a couple of little technical hiccups.
To be fair, I'm kind of shocked we got this far into Players
I know.
before they started to creep in. So, I mean, we've been doing pretty well. But it is going to be the long day, of course, is when we get the pauses. The potential 10-game day is when the pauses come through. That is class. Sorry, that's all.
Do you know, I've seen that hamster, I'm going to say, a lot on the internet before. I've never seen anyone like hand drawing it for a sign in the crowd as well. Saw on the other side saying, you know, hoping for silver scrapes today. I feel like this series, very reasonable expectation for Wales to push this to 5 now and give us some silver scrapes for our first series of the day. Then obviously our second series as well. I mean, I think that was an incredibly hard series to call. BDS versus PSG for our second best of 5. 2 best of 5s in a day, which is already a treat. But then, you know, Europe versus PCS. Who's going to be the one to make it to Swiss?
Europe versus the legacy of 4th seed, always disappointing. We'll have to see if they can try and bring it back. But coming back into like Team Wales here, I'm really glad that they ended up banning away the Xayah, because I think when you're looking at this one, you've actually got opportunities now to try and play a little bit more aggressive towards the bottom side, even with the tomfoolery that's going on with the Lee Sin. I still think when you get towards team fights, Slater's had this very easy get out of jail free card, and it's not going to be an opportunity really for him to have that here on the Kai'Sa, especially with the Nautilus having that point and click CC. So I think when I look at this game, it's going to be easier for Team Wales to try and play the team fights and play for what has been Glory trying to set up picks, which we haven't really saw come to fruition because Slater's had that safety.
So if you're just joining us, Team Wales have paused the game right now. League officials in Seoul are investigating, and we'll update you when we hear anything back as to what's occurring on the stage. Hopefully, it shouldn't be too big of an issue. We'll jump straight back into gameplay shortly. But until then, you get to hear the dulcet tones of me and Dagda doing a bit of a podcast for the time being.
Yeah, see, this is what happens every time we try and do Fight Night.
Yeah,
every time we
literally.
do Fight Night, it's like the complete opposite happens. We're like, we're ready for this, we're screaming, and then it's like, okay, well, actually, there hasn't been a kill in like 24 minutes, and we're like, well, kind of scratching our heads. And now it's just pauses to just take us out of all that energy.
Literally, the first time we ran the Fight Night segment was LGD versus IG. This is back in 2020.
Lucky versus Shia.
And it was like, you know, statistically, there was no way this was not an absolute banger of a matchup. Like, they both had incredibly high, like, champion kills per minute and
Also,
all of this.
it's IG.
And also, yeah, it was IG at the time. LGD at the time as well were like this big, like, little dive comps and all of this. Get into the match. I think the first kill happened at like 15 minutes or something. It was the opposite of Fight Night.
I still remember screaming, get the ties, because finally after 15 minutes we had something. But I'm hoping that this again will be a bit more of a bloody game. I think you kind of have to, coming in towards, again, Team Wales, like Lee Sin, Sindri, want to try and play through that. When I'm looking across the board at the champions on your screen as well, for GAM, Wukong, Renekton, easy setups, great dives, actually post 6 as well. So it is against the Malphite, so probably not going to see a huge amount, but I think if Sparta can just try and calm the game down, keep himself in check, farm up, and just get to the point where he's a Malphite, the setup he will have in team fights is going to be insane. Yeah. But he does have to be careful not being like thrown back the other direction by this set. But overall, I think he's going to be in a great spot. So this is, if there's ever a time for Team Wales to fight back, it's this one.
I have to say I'm excited just to see the set in general. It's not often that we get to see set in the support role these days. You do see it occasionally, but it is very much a niche pick. It's usually picked in these kind of scenarios. It's kind of funny to see it against the Kalista, realistically, since Kalista quite often used to be paired with Set. Like, back when Set was in the meta, it was often with that Kalista.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's been funny to see Adam bringing it out into the top lane, because even the cast was talking about the other day, it's like, we kind of saw it as a mid lane / support, really, where it stepped. I think it was Mark who was talking about it. It's just like, oh, you just don't really get to see it particularly often in the top lane role.
Yeah.
But I think in this one, it's going to be a case of like, how aggressive can you play against this Nautilus? Because as long as you're able to kind of just keep pushing the wave and stuff, you're going to be relatively okay as Team Wales in that bot lane. It's more of a case of the second you try to step up or play over aggressive, the Kai'Sa, the Nautilus, or the Kai'Sa and Set can turn plays around, and Kai'Sa can follow up very effectively with that killer instinct as well.
We've got a bit of an update for everyone as well. After investigating a potential in-game issue with Glory, League officials have found that it was a monitor notification and not a client issue. Teams have been informed there will be no such remake, and we are back into the game. Fight night continues, as it were. For anyone that's just joining us, Pallet is gonna flash. I think that was Hex Flash. I'm pretty sure he used this flash. There was a level 1 invade. Team Wales tries to make something aggressive happen in the bottom side. You can see B&J, no flash in that jungle. Had to flash out, and now low HP as he goes for his clear. Flash forward for Bia, but he's not level 2 just yet. Level 2 now hit by the Team Wales bottom lane, but Bia has to back away from this one. Artemis in trouble as now Levi moves into the mid lane as well. It's absolute carnage to start the game.
Artemis and Bay have to back away. Glory going to be in a terrible spot as well with no flash. And this is what we're talking about. Levi, knowing that the Lee Sin was taking low in the early stages, going to see if he can actually get into position here. Spotted on a ward though that was nicely placed earlier by Team Wales. So BJ will be aware that this is going down, but I don't think there's very much that he can do about it, as Levi can take this, smite it if he needs to, hit level 3, and it's just being a pain off the back of Cassie now having control over mid as well.
He's spotted on yet another ward here. BJ has smite available, will take his big frog, should be able to finish all of the little ones. Okay, level 3 actually, advantage for BJ. Sparta could move over. I don't know if they realistically win this with a Malphite at level 3 though.
My mistake as well, you don't get the level 3 off. Levi needed either the Crux or the Gromp in that one, but we'll just be able to pick it up off the lane stage.
BJ was spotted there. He's managed to sneak in behind enemy lines. Pallet, though, in the meantime, moving towards the mid lane. Oh, Glory, you're in so much trouble. And he doesn't have his flash available after the level 1 red buff to slow him down. And that's a haymaker from Pallet.
That is the kind of support I love to see. I will say Levi probably doesn't like to see it because he would have loved that early kill. Try and set himself up nicely for the Divine Thunder, but still very far ahead here with that play. Only losing out on the Wolves, so kind of matching the Raptors for Wolves trade there, as B&J is going to sneak his way back out. May look to, I was going to be very surprised if he tried to commit towards a blue buff steal or anything here. Should just try and rotate down to his bot side, pick up his own camps that are still available that hadn't been cleared off his initial play, and then move into Skull and Blood. Who might have judged B&J?
Yeah, he doesn't have any vision of anything. He is it's the recall in the end. I'm not sure what he was hoping for there, whether he was expecting maybe hoping Catty would come and try and walk that brush or something like this. Not sure. Either way, Artemis in the meantime did get a plate down in that bottom side. You can see CS relatively even. And as this wave pushes out, that's kind of your opportunity for Artemis for Beer to look for a potential all-in with you.
Yeah, there isn't a lot that you can do against Slater though, because he was able to back and get the longsword versus just the pass on the opposite side. But this is just really nice. Glory had already burnt the flash. The slow coming through from the command distance means it's easy for Levi to get in. And at this stage, Pallet, I know you want the assist, but you definitely should have just left that early, as the red buff slow would have been enough. But still, nice roam from Palace off the fact they'd got that advantage against Artemis and Bay, and they had to disappear back to base.
He just takes a couple of punches to the face. He'll be alright. He'll walk away and go back towards clearing his jungle. Meantime, Slater and Pallet have a huge wave to crash. Levi in the area, but I don't think this is a diveable angle right now, so just going to be able to clear that one. B&J was sort of hovering as well, just in case.
Also with the reset coming through from Slater and Pallet again, so trying to see if they can keep up the matching. The buy that just came through from Artemis, you can see he reset for the recurve, so trying to match fire with fire with the spray of dirt completed. So again, should have a bit more control there for the Kai'Sa in this matchup, just off the buy states. And also the fact that again, Pallet has been doing a great job of getting into position as smite away by Levi.
BJ, unfortunately, missing out on the steal. And he's quite far behind in CS at this point. Glory starting to take control of this mid lane matchup. Catty, low on HP, low on mana. Glory at that level 6 mark. Like, if they're both low on HP in that mid lane, when you hit level 6, that's a big advantage towards Glory. Pallet flashing forward, so he's hit level 6, but it just doesn't matter.
Great play from Pallet, managing to catch Glory on the edge of that. Now will be spotting out Pallet as well, but I thought we might have seen Team Wells trying to make a play in towards mid lane. I was actually about to praise Glory for the advantage he's picked up, and now Sparta.
He's level 6. Sparta's
Catty
level 6. He's going into the mid lane. It's a knock up there. The hook though blocked as the root lands onto Catty. He's ignited and should go down, but BJ so low on HP. Levi chasing for the kill and finds the 1v1. Pallet as well, low. In the meantime, Sparta trying to finish one of these kills off, but he just can't get onto anyone. No, Levi keeping the fight going. Levi, you might have overstepped on this one, but pulled back in is Sparta. Flashes for a kill, and there's a bonus! Glory arrives on the scene.
GAM just needed to back away. They got what they came for, but instead trying to overextend, and this Team Wales were able to fight their way back, and Glory picking up a kill on the back of that is going to massively help out this Syndrome.
That is absolutely huge, because already CS lead for Glory at this point in the game is Catty. Let's go 1-1 there. Ultimately, that bonus kill there, even the gank that we saw onto Glory earlier on in the lane.
And the fact now as well that you get the opportunity to play around Glory a little bit more because he's come back, he has that level 6 hit, we still have BJ's there, he still has Flash as well. These are our opportunities to try and continue to make plays in mid, because ideally that's what Team Wales was going for. You can see that Faye was already waiting in the wings. They wanted to try and play around Glory, who's going to hit that level 6 so soon here, but Pallet preemptively getting into the mid lane, knows that he's just stronger than the Nautilus when it comes towards the 2v2 because it's a set versus a Nautilus. And then here, I mean, you kind of get the kill for Team Wales, but the fact that Catty manages to step away in the backside, also get that ultimate off, means that Team Wales have to overextend in this position. And then it's just GAM who starts to chase them down. But again, at this stage, GAM just back away. Levi decides to re-engage, and Pallet has to move in to try and set things up. But good flash from Sparta, manages to set that up.
I was trying to figure out what Levi was thinking. I just saw the Void Seeker fly up from Slater. He's trying to set up for the Kai'Sa ultimate, fly in, get the kills onto the AD carry. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out. Sparta flashes, finishes that kill. Makes it possible, then Glory getting the bonus off the back of it. Sparta moves back up to the top side. And we kind of reset to 0 for a second. I just want to quickly mention about that guy. I feel like we're almost seeing like the foreshadowing of the fact that Adam's playing later today. First off, Sparta ganking the mid lane, but also we get a set in this lobby as well. It feels like a very like pre-Adam series.
That's the Darius here for Team Wales when they bring out the gods, or if it's going to be a different or if it's going to be the dogs for GAM instead. But I think this has kind of been a decent spot for GAM from the get-go, right? Your set's doing perfectly well. He's playing aggressive, which is what you want from the set, especially the roams, and being able to set up the team. You've got the Rift Chart now in your back pocket. Divine Sunder very much started for Levi. As long as you can actually get this down into the bot side to get Slater up and rolling, I think you're in a great spot. I'm a bit concerned about them trying to get control over mid lane here for the Rift Herald, just because if Bay is there and BJ is there, there's a lot of burst damage that can come out to Catty, pointing case right there. And if you end up in a situation where you get stunned, BJ follows up, he has kick into a hook, you don't really get to play the game as Catty. So I think leaning bot into a play there is going to gain more for GAM, especially when Pallet's flash, I think, is going to be coming up in just about a minute and a half time.
Taking a poke there. Drake up on the map right now, and Catty down to half HP as they are fighting desperately for Bryo now. You can see Catty doing everything he can to get control of this mid lane, but when your health bar's this low, moving over, somebody's got to help Catty get this wave in, because otherwise Glory has a chance of an all-in. Pallet, I've got to say, it's been on point so far in this set.
Yeah, I mean, the pullbacks have been great. I wasn't sure if you get the slow, if he was going to try and worm his way in behind there to get the ult, but you can see his flash just now back off cooldown, and this is where you got to get dangerous.
And gets the Drake as we're all grouped up. Sparta has the ultimate available. They're just going to go for the close target, but that's Wukong across everyone. Pallet finds one. Slater flies in from the side, and he gets more kills into the pocket of Pallet.
Beautiful positioning from Levi. I think Team Wales assumed that he got on the ball with the clone, and that's why they were worried about it. But Levi just hiding in the pit, knowing there's no vision there for Team Wales, and GAM strike perfectly back onto the play.
Pallet 3-1 and 3 right now. 100% kill participation and a hat-trick on this set. It's not a meta pick, but it's working beautifully.
So we see here Team Wales try to take the fight. Dragon goes down, and they see Levi exit into the pit. So they assume, oh, they're trying to back away. Levi's going to go over the wall. But Levi doesn't. So actually sets up beautifully alongside Pala with that gorgeous ultimate haymaker across, picks up the kill for him. And Slater's then able to use the CC that's already been there to follow in to pick up the double kill for the support. I mean, you've got to be happy with that. Look at that from Levi.
They are over the moon with that one, feeling the energy. The funny thing is, it's not even like the first kill he got. Yeah, fair play. Pallet kind of just stole that one. But those two, like, they were the first one was a necessary kill. The second one in that fight, that was actually his ignite that kind of unluckily took it. So it's not even like he's actively trying to take these kills either. So far, so good for GAM. You see the goal difference there, slowly but surely eking upwards. Over 2,000 at this point. Artemis as well. It's like this Callista, you want to be ahead in this kind of game. When we're talking about Team Wales in this composition that really want to scrap, they really want to go forward, but it doesn't feel like they can right now.
That's the biggest problem. Artemis just hasn't been in a position where they can try and play off him because Paladin has just been, hey, push the bot, throw him elsewhere. Now, Spartan's in a lot of trouble, forced to flash because the ultimate wasn't up and available. That's going to give a ton of control now as he tries to look towards Rift Herald in 2 minutes' time. No flash on the Malphite makes it significantly easier for GAM to position fights.
So it does. We're able to clear this wave, deny the Herald. Oh, not deny the Herald, kill the Herald, but did get that one plate of the Herald. And Kiaya already 2.5 plates in on the top side, close to a third one. Levi getting cheeky in the jungle once again. Basically the whole of Wales are here, aside from Sparta. So not be able to do too much. Although, perhaps could look towards a dive on this bottom side. Catty looking for an all-in onto Glory, but the scan of the week were denied.
Just about able to back away. You see though, Catty now feeling way more confident to position aggressively because he can get the kill.
Shockwave, Catty looking for a solo kill! Catty is destroying Team Wales.
Oh, hang on, we're still looking BJ forcing Warthog, but he's still got to follow the kick away, but Palad's there! And 4 kills for the bloodthirsty support of GAM!
Pala is taking them apart. This is brutal. GAM are here. Game number 4 is their game right now. They want to go to the Swiss stage. They want to win on the board.
Absolutely beautiful stuff from GAM. I mean, Catty at the moment is putting the double Y into Glory. Every time he tries to step up, Catty's asking why. Puts him in his place, and then on this, like you can see it here, Catty knows he's got the damage, steps past the orb, so there's no way the Scattercomik can land. The shockwave is beautiful, and the clockwork wind up with that damage is straight there. BJ then tries to step into position, but the damage, thanks to that Divine Sunder being completed, 2 bashes sets him up perfectly, and Pallet flash, ignite, yoinks him in for the kill.
It sets him up perfectly, and then Set gets involved as well. Takes the kill. Pallet with 4.
Oh, no.
Look at the support goal difference! I have never seen a support goal difference this strong outside of Set.
He's the second most goal difference in the game. I love these Master Card Lane Academy snapshots where we just get to see that here is the stupid amount of goal difference you need to look at.
I will say, this slight negative for GAM is you don't really want all of your gold on your support, but at the same time, you're 8 and 3 up, you're 5k
it's also
up.
Set.
It
Like,
is set, yeah.
everyone, you're kind of like, hey, this is actually all right. Like, I'll be able to make this one work. So, and they're making it work. Levi and Pallet have decided that they're going to go hold hands around the map. Now starting up the Rift Herald, keeping control over the mid lane as well. You can see they're starting to get wards placed around this area because, like, as long as we can control mid priority, we can start to link Rift Herald. Dragon in 15 seconds. They'll probably be a little bit late for. So, if Team Wales are quick enough, they might be able to make something happen there. But I think they're a bit worried that if they go for that Dragon, they're actually going to lose their mid-turn in response.
Moving the Hextech Drake next. And luckily for us, the first Drake of the game was Clouds. No Cloud Souls today, but Levi flashed away by Artemis, but the Shockwave, you can't flash away from that one. Will survive for the time being. That's 2 ultimates used, and now Glory forced to flash himself by Kiaya.
Yeah, though. Kiaya still getting the better of that. You can see the amount of Merc thread value that's going to be coming out in this one between the Malphite, Nanos, and the Syndra. Means that he's perfectly happy to go toe-to-toe with Glory. Catty, though, has no ultimate. Needs to be careful. Sparta, no flash. But if you're all in the pit here as GAM, maybe this is where Artemis can come alive.
Sparta level 11, so second level on that ultimate. Keep your eyes on the Malphite. The ult has to be huge. Glory over the wall as well. Scatter the weak could be massive if Sparta can set it up. Pallet actually going to bring Sparta over to the rest of his team. Still holding on to that ultimate as Artemis goes on to Kiaya. They got the Drake as well. And it's huge damage coming down onto the carries. There's another one for Glory. As Levi goes down as well. It's just disaster for the side of GAM.
The fact that Pallet ends up being caught out there is huge. He's kind of their big engage tool at the moment when Levi doesn't have an ultimate for himself. And I think Team Wales read the situation perfectly. We have the opportunity to take this fight with the ultimates, the position we have, and they fight back against GAM.
I can't believe how clean that fight was. I can't believe how one-sided that fight was. They're so far behind, or at least were so far behind. Now with a Hextech Drake, and it's an Infernal Soul this game.
This is the thing though, watch as Pallet goes in here, watch Sparta's positioning. He steps behind Pallet so he can't actually ult him into the team. So he ends up going away. Kiaya is now overextended to try and get Artemis. Great cleanse by Artemis as Kiaya gets the CC. And then Sparta gets the double knockup as Glory is coming into position, often being forced away on bot side to then set up for the follow-up. Like, it is a beautiful moment across, like positioning from Sparta, the cleanse coming through from Artemis, and then Glory just getting in at the right perfect time.
Great hook there from Bia at the end of the fight onto Catty. I mean, Glory must have felt so good to just throw an auto attack out at the end of the fight and finish off the mid laner that's solo killed you in the lane. That's gotta feel cathartic. And you can see the goal difference dropping dramatically from the side of GAM there. Team Wales still behind, make no mistake. 2,500 gold lead still for GAM. The fact that you can lose a fight that handedly and still be 2,500 gold up says a lot. Pallet already low, but Artemis has gone way too far forwards. He's just destroyed. Glory might be in the same boat. As Slater jumps on forwards, finishes the kill. The pulled underneath the tower, though. Slater's so low on HP. BJ surely can finish that one off. He needs a ward hop. He's still on the queue. Was it on cooldown? It must have been. Sparta and Kiaya sparring as well.
Yeah, still had the cooldown on the queue. Could have flashed and gone for it, but not quite able to get into range. That was very dangerous from Slater. But still GAM get it back. Tower down, 2 kills go over in favor of just the 1 for Levi. So big moves from GAM to try and keep control of this game. But again, this is the back and forth we've had all series long. Just when you think one person has gotten a lead, they come back. BJ was trying to set up here, I think, for a kick, but the minion died. And that's why with Glory here, they're like, hey, look, we've got the numbers advantage. But Levi immediately beats them to the punch, goes in aggressively, just decimates Artemis with the shockwave from Catty, putting Artemis into the team. Then you get the follow-up onto the Syndra damage as well. And Slater just barely able to walk away from that one, but not so much for Catty.
Yeah, I don't think Catty's getting out of this one alive. Here with another hook. Great ultimate from Sparta. Artemis being chased down by Kiaya. That's a lot of spears, though. The croc might fall on this one. Doesn't have the damage. Artemis trying to kite away here. Levi has the ultimate available. Wants to try and save it. Slater will finish it off underneath the tower. Walks away with his life. Glory arriving on the scene. I don't think this is a 2v1 he can take right now.
Still top lane going down. Pallet, where are you off to, buddy?
Yeah, no reinforcements this time. You may have 4 kills, but you're still playing set. Everyone dodges the true damage, and they will finish the job off. Yeah, there we go. Okay, there we go. Shut down. It's the fucking BJ.
The tower didn't go down in bot lane. The charge didn't go across from the Rift Tower. Glory was able to interrupt it. So Team Wales actually fight the 1-for-1, get tower, but might be Glory who falls now that Levi has ult.
Nice!
Huge kill there. Slater, easy finish off. Double ultimate used on the bottom side. Glory realistically overstepping, and you said, you know, the tower survived. Not any longer.
It was so close to being a big win for Team Wales. They get the tower, they match kills, but I think Glory kind of breathed an early sigh of relief. Was like, okay, we're all going to push off. But Levi, as you called out in that play, held on to that ultimate for so long that they just must have assumed it wasn't up or that it was used, and then he ends up coming into the lane to kill off Glory. So now you get full vision control on the spot side for Dragon in a minute's time and wave push. This is where you can try and set up for second Dragon very easily as GAM.
And I have to say as well, we've been talking about how action-packed we expected this series to be. It's all coming to a head, Dagda. We've got more than a kill a minute so far. out in this game. And with Drake spawning in 45 seconds, you've got to expect this going to be good.
But this is the thing. I think if you're looking at Team Wales, you have to try and play to pull GAM out of the comfort zone. If you can try and set up and play off the vision you have established at Baron, maybe you can try and push mid and draw GAM into this area, because if you're walking in blind to Sparta, to Glory, these kind of CC opportunities, it's going to set you up well. I don't think they have enough control over the bottom side right now to keep it in check. Though Kiaya a bit late to the play here, so it looks like Team Wales will be able to fight for mid priority and actually get the vision control that they need back on this river area.
It does feel like GAM with 2 items on Slater already in a fantastic spot for this fight. If Slater can position correctly, he will one-shot people with this build, and assuming he's not on Sparta at very least.
Keep your eyes on Levi. Flashes up. Ult just came up, but there's the stun!
Great combo. It's only onto the clone, though. Sparta couldn't quite find his target, and now he's just going to be chased out. Force the flash. Does get the shockwave out from Catty. We go back to the status quo.
Levi still has his engaged though, and that's where GAM actually have the advantage. You need BA. This has to be a huge knockup from BA. Nice! Levi
into the back line, but there's not much follow-up from the rest of his team. They all back away here. Glory's still alive. Kiaya getting into the back line of Sparta.
Wow!
Slayer has gone so deep for this one, but he's totally alone. Slater versus the world. He gets underneath the tower, but look at the spears rendered and taken down. But Pallet saves the
wow.
Looking for more as the hook comes out from Beer to escape the play. Bean J alongside him, no ultimate available as we're just in full retreat for Team Wales.
Bean J needs to start landing some of these sonic waves. The consistent overextension from Team Wales, because he hasn't been landing these Qs, is causing them major issues. See, there, that's overextend for Slater on the bot lane tower, and that's where Pallet to come in to finish off Artemis. Now GAM have control over Dragon, but I don't know how much control they have. Glory, TP available, now coming back up. Sparta going to be able to TP in just a matter of seconds, and his ult is just around the corner.
Yeah, he wants to go. PJ's just looking for a 2v1 here, and he'll find it as well. Levi pulled back in. No, great clone coming out from him. Sparta's TP'd in. Glory actually managing to hold on to his TP as well, realizing they've taken control of the play. That means he can just move to the bottom lane. This will be a second Drake for Wales.
I mean, it shouldn't have gone this way, but you'd be happy as it is Team Wales managing to get that play, to get the Dragon for themselves and some kills back, but messy stuff on both sides. Everyone is tossing everything and the kitchen sink at each other to try and find some advantage, but it's not really coming in for either.
And just imagine the world where those 5 kills that Pallet has are on some carries.
Again though, coming into this, right, Sparta, the engage is already gone, so this is great from Levi, but you called it in the fight. Nobody there on Levi to follow up, and Slater's caught in the pit, so Slater feels the need now to overextend to finish Glory, but he's in a terrible position because Sparta is just tanking all this damage from the backline and topside. But this Q needed to hit from Bean J, because now Artemis is overextended underneath the tower. Pallet is set up then to follow up, and it means that they're not able to just have Artemis stay safe in this fight, and now with the consistent damage down, that's why GAM are able to try and follow up. But as you said, Catty thinks he has way more that he can do in this scenario, but once that damage lands, we've already got the Core Drinker here from Bean J. He's able to keep himself nice and healthy, Conqueror stacked. It's easy pickings for Bean J.
And I think awkward pathing there from Pallet as well, going into the pit to Hex Flash over, but couldn't actually join. So it ends up actually being a 2v2, even though there was 3 players on the map for GAM.
I do want to bring us back into focusing on items after the team fight damage. You can see Artemis doing some work. The Nashor's 2 just picked up for Slater. Absolutely massive for the Kaisa. She's going to be a menace now in these fights, especially if you can proc that ultimate. Proc that passive.
Yeah.
Also looking at Artemis, Winsu's Blade of the Rune King. He's in a great spot. Stopwatch as well to stop some of these engages from Kiaya or even Levi if he manages to get onto him. So both AD carries are going to be firing a hell of a lot of damage in these fights. And Kiaya wants to try and get a flank off here, so you need to be very careful if you're Artemis.
Certainly do. And it feels like the next couple of fights could decide everything. GAM, they want this so bad. Did they get spotted? I don't think so there, but they've cleared it anyway, so that'll give away the ghost. Sparta's trying to move in. Kiaya still behind enemy lines. Artemis actually cutting towards him here, getting behind the play. Bean J there to support the Glory's gone down. In the meantime, Kiaya still surviving. The kick across the team here. Sonic Wave onto Slater as Kiaya should finally fall. Artemis still alive, getting one for himself as Slater, kiting back. BJ with his team. Pala pulls Artemis in as well, but BJ gets onto Slater. He doesn't have the damage though. Slater's so huge in this game, and Artemis is still kiting, still going, but he's totally alone.
He's the only one left. The Paladin's just going to keep him away as the rest of GAM get control over mid. Paladin can kill if Artemis isn't careful, but it doesn't matter. GAM, they have the health bar on Levi. They're going to turn over towards the Baron.
GAM get their opportunity to take control of this game now as Catty moves in to help with that Baron. And this is such a messy fight from Wales.
And Kiai is on a ward, so they knew this was happening. The cleanse from Artemis, it's a good positioning from him. But again, with Glory going down, there's not really enough damage there but from just Artemis to carry this fight, especially with both of the damage dealers on GAM still up and available. This ult as well hits onto the clone. These clones have been getting so much value from the Wukong, where the Nautilus goes in, gets the knock-up, BJ tries to escape, but Slater flashes in to follow up on it, and then Artemis is just running for the hills. So you see work trying to be done in these fights, but there's just not enough if Glory's going to go down like that.
And now GAM get themselves a Red Bull Baron power play to work with. Catty! The missed timing on the scat of the week, and now Artemis has to use that stopwatch, but the entire gang is here. Catty the target, Artemis low on HP but still surviving. No, Kiaya cuts him down and Catty survives as well. Kiaya still full HP. How is this a 1-5 for GAM? And now BJ is going to be caught out. Sparta trying to just buy space for his team, but knocked up himself and will slowly be whittled down. Glory trying to save his Malphite, but I don't think there's anyone. And Pallet, you're going nowhere, Glory. Pallet is taking control of this. He wants a Swiss.
Glory is going nowhere, but I can tell you where GAM are going, and it's the base of Team Wales off the back of a magnificent pick onto Artemis. That could be it right here.
GAM, call them cheesy, call them a roll, because they want a Swiss today, that's for sure.
3-1.
10,000 gold lead as they start to hammer away at the Nexus. In goes BS try and buy time, but this is all GAM. They remind Team Wales why they were the first seed out from the BCS, and they qualify to the World Championship Swiss stage.
A 3-1 victory, history repeated here today for GAM as they will move on to the next stage of Worlds 2023, and what a way to do it. Pallet was a monster on this set pick, working so well to find these opportunities around mid lane, to keep Glory in check, to find picks on Artemis. This was a phenomenal game from the VCS for a seed.
Hooks across the board as well. These guys know each other, you know. These two teams have played many times. These players have played many times across the years. And you can see Team Wales not too devastated. At least if you're going to get knocked out, at least it's a team from your own region that then qualifies to the Swiss stage. But, I mean, they've got to be heartbroken.
I mean, being that close, having that game 2 go so well in your favor.